What is up, and welcome back to my Movie Corner channel. My name is Michael, and if you're new here and you don't know what this series is, I'll quickly explain it like I do in all my movie reviews. Every week, I basically will sit down, pick a random movie from the bookshelf that's behind me there, and I will review it. The only thing is, it will be picked out random for me because it will be on a wheel of names, and I will spin that wheel, and that wheel determines what movie I'm going to be reviewing for that week. This is week 5. I took a bit of a break for during Christmas, and yeah, it's time to review this new movie. And it's basically the main reason why I'm doing this is I don't know what my definitive top 10 favorite movies are. And this is what this series is for. It's to help me decide that. I know that's theoretically impossible because there's so many movies out there to choose from, but I've already bought a bunch of movies that I would like to own, which, as you can see behind me there, and those are the TV shows, and then more movies and stuff is by my back. Well, no, that's my Darren Chan books. There's some more. So yeah, with that being said, let's hop straight into the wheel of names and see what movie I'm going to be reviewing today. So, as always, I already know what movie's being picked because I always do the spin wheel before I start the recording process. It's always the first thing that I do, and it is a very interesting one this week. It is one of my favorite movies that I do know that I do love, and that movie is Robin Williams' Bicentennial Man. I cannot wait to review this. Okay, finally got around to watching Bicentennial Man. It took a few days for me to actually sit down and watch it. And yeah, of course I loved it. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite Robin Williams films, and it's one of those films that I need to not watch for a few years after I've watched it. It's one of those types of movies is the best way that I can describe it. But as I was watching and just remembering the plot, it's definitely reminiscent to me of the Star Trek The Next Generation episode Measure of a Man, where there's a court session where they have to try and prove that the android Data isn't Starfleet property to be dismantled and that. So, yeah, it's time now to properly jump into the movie review. So the plot takes place over 200 years in movie, and it starts in 2005, and it revolves around this family getting their own robot servant. The thing with the robot, who they then name Andrew, is that even without his personality chip, he still has some feelings and abilities to do some things on his own, such as when he breaks a glass figurine of a horse, Andrew goes out of his way to carve a horse for the youngest child. As the movie progresses, we see Andrew being paid for the things that he makes, and it's after the two children, now grown up, leave that Andrew asks for his own freedom, and he gets it. Over the next few years, Andrew goes out looking to see if there are any more robots like him, which then leads him to a robot technician who, with Andrew's help funding his research, makes Andrew human. After a few upgrades and Andrew falling in love, he then sets out to have himself declared human. The main character of Andrew is portrayed very good by Robin Williams, and it's definitely one of my favorite portrayals of his. Going from a robot who doesn't really know or understand anything and is always of service, to eventually learning more about humanity and eventually becoming human himself. I also love how it's not really until the hour mark that we get to see Robin Williams outside of the robot makeup. The rest of the cast also do a fantastic performance, but it's clear that Robin Williams steals the show. This movie is such an underrated gem. After looking into it more, it turns out that it didn't do well when it came out in 1999. On a budget of between $90 and $100 million, it made $87.4 million at the box office. And with poor reviews, with Rotten Tomatoes having it at 36% from critics and 58% from audiences. After watching this movie a good few times over the years, I can definitely say that this movie is such an underrated gem. I don't see many things wrong with this movie at all, just that it's slow in some parts and it rushes the ending when there's only 30 minutes left. But other than that, it's a great movie to see how Andrew evolves from machine to man, and doing so because he can feel emotions but he can't express them himself. I love this movie. It never fails to not entertain me, and it always manages to keep holding my interest, even though it is a 2 hour movie. Robin Williams does a fantastic job in this film, and it's definitely a huge departure from his normal comedic roles, with only really having a very few of those in this. And I gotta say, it's definitely one of my all time favorite Robin Williams movies. So, I will be giving Bicentennial Man a solid 9 out of 10. And there you guys go. That is my review of Bicentennial Man and my first review back for 2022. I really hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next Monday for another brand new movie review. I'll see you all next time.